Today is July 21, 2021. This is a before video of Mr. Joe Lopez's 1946 CJ2a. Just wanted to make a quick video here of what it looked like upon receipt, and as we begin the resto project over the next several months. I wanted to document some of the features that it has and some of the serial numbers just for documentation purposes. I think the customer's intent is to have it restored to as close to original as possible, with the exception of potentially a different color than was stock. What we discovered, it just got power washed today, and what we discovered was the original color was red, kind of a Cimarron red. The next layer of paint is what we believe is a Michigan yellow, and then this appears to be just some primer that was sprayed over top of all of that. I'm not sure of the history of the vehicle. What I understand is he bought it in Lodi, California. It appears to be all original, and it is a numbers matching project, with the exception it has been converted to 12 volt. As you can see with the alternator, it does have a 12 volt battery that was originally here. It's actually over there in storage. Oil bath cleaner, oil filter. I believe that's an extra fuel filter just to be on the safe side. And then the relay there is aftermarket. I believe that's just like an AutoZone or O'Reilly, but we're probably going to get the original box that would sit right here on the passenger side door frames. He does have the original plates that would be located here with the serial number, and also the 3 plates that would be along the passenger side dash. The uniqueness of this vehicle is that, it appears that it's all there as far as a GPW block, and I'll see if I can't get down here and get the let's see if we can't get it. There we go. GPW 6915 is the block serial number. There's a number here ending in 522. And then we were looking around, we didn't see any F scribes on the bolts. But as we disassemble, we'll try to figure out if, it was originally a early post-war piece together project. For some reason, I've never seen this before, but the block was yellow. And then it's got some sort of a coating here. I don't think that's original. As you can see, it was painted the red color, but then you get up here and you see the original looking harvest tan there and here, and that's only under the hood. And then you can see the yellow, and then you can see the red, but the red and the yellow are on top of this kind of I don't know, it's kind of a hard coating. There's the original harvest tan, I believe. But again, the block was yellow, and I have not seen that before. And then I see some red on the throttle linkage there. Still has the glass float or glass bowl on the fuel pump, even though I think that is a fairly new fuel pump. We did find some receipts. Some of these hoses were just some AutoZone replacements that were there. And then I'm not sure about the horn. All of the early horns I've seen are kind of a short stumpy one, but this is a little longer. We don't know, it does turn over. We didn't try to start it. I want to run a compression test on it. And obviously it's leaking. The gaskets under, oh my gosh, and the transfer case, both axles, they just leak like a sieve. The front bumper here, just this angle piece, was found in a junkyard, and I have a receipt for that. But then here's the frame serial number. And you can see it's a CJ2 civilian version frame. 13223 is the serial number. It makes it an early 46. Also see some repair here. These straps on the front of the lower part of the windscreen. I believe they're just made to secure, to prevent any, additional corrosion. And I think we're going to be okay leaving those alone. I'm not doing the body work. I believe Joe's going to go and get that, talk to probably a hot rod shop or somebody that can do some really custom paint and body work for him. But you can see these are square and not round, and then it's stamped Willie. So, a little bit more confirmation that it's a civilian and not an MB. A couple of the unique things while I'm over here, I'll show you. It does have the duo lock hubs. So a lot of them I've seen have the worn, whether those were, replaced over time or what, but these look like they're the original duo locks. And basically you just flip those down, turn them, flip them, and that would lock your axle, or your wheel to your axle, to put it into a four-wheel drive. One of these bearings on the axle shaft, I'm not sure if it's the driver or the passenger side, but when we were towing it with the truck, it was kind of wobbling back here, and I'm not sure, it might be that the missing bolts or these weren't torqued down enough, or the lug nuts, or what. Everything looks tight, but I think we're going to have an issue with the bearing there, and that's a little concerning, if the axle housing is worn out. Those are, they appear, as I'll do another video once we get the body off and the fenders and the hood and the windscreen. But it looks as though underneath it's all original. It even has the original parking drum brake right behind the transfer case there. Greases all get out. He went over and used a steam pressure washer and did as good as he could. We did find a serial number on the tub, 0815. Not sure what that is. And that's also another hole I've never seen next to the key. It is column shift, so again, early 46. There is a plate there that would be for your manual shifter that was later converted. I'm not sure if the original column shifter tubs had an access port for the shifter or for the floor shifter. And then of course you see the side fuel tank that's just mounted right up underneath what would be the driver's side seat. Serial numbers on the engine I just showed you, and the frame, and then we discovered it's going to be real hard to get the picture of the camera down in here, but on the tow gusset right there, we made out, I believe it's 5.2. Let me see if I can't get down in there really good. It's going to be really hard. There we go. Let's see if I can't zoom in on that one. It's like a 5137 is what it, or 3517 on the tow gusset. That's on the driver's side. Frame number again, 13223. Tub serial number that we found was 0815, and then of course this one down on the tow gusset. The engine is let's see, F20522. On top of the water pump, there's a little A. You can hardly make it out, but there's no serial number there. And then, and this will probably show up a little bit better in one of the other latter pictures, but behind the oil filter, where that plate would be, let's see if my camera can get it, right there, can't make out the serial number at all. I don't even know if one's on there. But on this side, you see the engine is kind of a gray color. I don't know if that's original. And then that starter appears to be either newer or a rebuilt new one that was obtained somewhere else. Yeah, got a lot of cardboard down here. It was leaking like a sieve, and I'm sure overnight it'll be really juicy down there. And apparently there's supposed to be a F scribe or a cursive F on the shock mount. We just cannot make it out. It's too corroded. I'll get a wire brush after it. Headlights, you know, they don't swivel. There's no swivel there, so obviously that's a civilian version. And our intention is to do a frame off, do a body off frame restoration, get it back to as close to original, good running condition is what I was told. And then, you know, wheels, tires, fix the exhaust system. There's missing a piece down there. And then originally, I believe this would have been mounted here. The holes are there and it would line up, but somebody's actually drilled into the tailgate and put it there. And then the other thing, there would have been a serial number on the side of this tailgate. We looked all over, couldn't find it. And also this little piece right here is bent out like an angle to kind of make it flush. And that's on both sides. And you can see how they've done it here, where it's kind of been cut instead of in here. It's been cut and kind of bent this way. And I don't think that's original. I think that's actually done, or somebody did that. Does have registration and a license. However, it hasn't been roadworthy, to my knowledge, in a while. Don't know how old the gas is. We'll get that out. There have been some repair plates here, and we don't know what's behind those plates because on the inside of here, it doesn't look like there's a lot of corrosion or anything. I mean, there's a couple of holes in the footwell. You can see just above the gas pedal there. And then there's a place here that was cut for some reason. And then the worst place out of anywhere else on here, I mean, it's all solid and clean and everything, but you can see a few holes poking through on the passenger side. Won't be a real problem. You can almost see it right there, kind of sparkling the light through. But in here, that's all the way through. You can see my shoe in the toolbox here under the passenger seat. So that's going to be some money as far as the repair shop is concerned. And then underneath, as we take the frame, the body off and we flip it over, we'll know. We don't know, is this Bondo or is it just some sort of a filler? Nothing under there or on the backside is corroded through. So it's just kind of a wrinkle there. Same thing with up here. You know, just the standard bumps and blemishes that we'll probably do some glazing compound or something just to clean it up. But again, that's the body shop. I only do mechanical side work. I'm a disabled vet and I'm able to do as much as I can do to my limit, and then I've got to take a cool off period and kind of regroup, get my body and my mind back together, and then get back at it. And I have a real problem with just jumping in something and getting so deep that I can't get out because I'm so excited or I get so involved with it. But it feels good, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are a lot like me that you see something like this come along and you're just you're enthralled with a piece of history that you want to just make right for future generations. Now, Joe's got kids, and I'm sure it's going to stay in their family for a long time, and I sure hope he you know, once we get this done 6 months, a year from now, that he hangs on to it. I just got through fixing up a little Mini Cooper car, and you know, he being my neighbor just happened to notice that I'm a picky guy, and when I do my engines, I do my rebuilds, I don't skimp. So when we get down to the frame, the shocks, the springs, obviously all the wear items, you know, the The seals, the bearings and stuff like that will be replaced. Not too much money in that, but you know, when it gets involved, the labor as far as scraping off that frame, getting all the 75 years or so of gunk off of it, getting it you know, steam blasted probably would be the best thing, and then we'll probably put some POR 15 coating or some rust stop or some sort of seal on there on the frame itself, and then the under side. And then we'll probably do a ceramic coat on the engine. My understanding is everything in this engine bay at one time or another stock over the years would have been a black. And again, like I was saying earlier, you know, yellow is kind of a strange thing to see under here. That intake manifold is green, so I don't know if that's a you know, salvage item that was found. But you see the matching valve cover color is that gray, similar to the other side, and it looks like it is chain driven. There's your cover for the chain on the timing, or for the cam and the crankshaft down there. I'm sure that crank seal on the rear of the engine is probably shot. Have no idea how many times this has been rebuilt or if it has. We are praying that the block is still you know, good enough to do a little bit of a cleanup bore and get some new rings in there. But the mileage on it, according to the Odo, we believe is what is 60128, and that's a little 4 in the white. And then there's the gauge readings there. You got a choke button and so forth, and then the handbrake over there, and then the light, and then you would have your, what's missing is the windshield wipers. So that's going to have something that we're going to have to find. The glass is in awesome shape. The windshield seals, you have to either leave that alone or find somebody that knows how to do that. I don't. Again, that's a body item. And then just little Mickey Mouse, like this seal under here. And, you know, there is some funny things. This is an actual kind of a thumb screw on the windshield arm, or windshield bracket arm on that side, on the driver's side, and over here is just a nut or a bolt, grade 8 or whatever. And then he's got the original mirror that goes there. It's just been broken off. But that's where we're at. This is, I don't believe this was stock. I think somebody just put like a grill pan in there, and luckily it's just bolted, not welded. And we're hoping to get those fenders off, that since this step is welded to that, which is ultimately bolted to the frame, we could just undo the bolts and that'll come off with the fender. And then likewise, the bolts up here for the grill will pop right off. But we want to get that tub off and see what's underneath this baby behind that engine. See how much work we got. It doesn't look like the frame was cracked or bent or rusted through. Steering linkage is shot. The tie rod ends are shot. The seals, the gaskets, the hoses, the brake lines. Can't get a shot under there, you know, obviously underneath the access plate under the brake pedal there, but that would be the master cylinder. Don't know how old that is. That's something that's probably going to have to be replaced just to keep it on the safe side. And then the lights back here, the stop lights, the lenses, just some aftermarket throw-ons, it looks like. You know, I don't know, AutoZone or whatever, but you can see the holes where you know, a lot of things have been done back here. So whether that's to be filled or you know, if we just leave it alone and say, hey, this is how we got it, and we cleaned it up through a paint job on it, a nice paint job, and we did a frame off, body off frame resto, and here it is. We've looked up numbers matching early CJ2s with the column shift are somewhere in the neighborhood of about 20 grand. I think what he's found here is a $25,000 to $30,000 vehicle, if we do it right. I'm not going to disclose how much he paid, but it was pennies on the dollar, and I'm not going to charge much, if anything, to do this. I'm going to have fun doing it, and I'm going to get a lot of joy donating my time and effort to somebody that has literally found a gold mine of history here. You can see the bow mounts here on the driver's side, and then you can actually see the indents on the passenger side. I didn't know they had those on the civilian Jeeps, but I'll be darned. But this is a civilian version as far as we've seen. We don't see anything that would delineate it as an MB. Last thing we were told to check is the tube under the radiator. Now I can't really get up underneath there and get you a good shot without climbing up underneath it, but it appears to me that it's kind of a C-channel. It's upside down piece of metal, but it's kind of an oval. So it's not really round, but it's flat on top, and it's got kind of, you know, the ends are kind of like this, and it's all kind of it's not a round tube, you know, like so I don't know, once we get that radiator out there, I'll take another shot. I just really wanted to walk around and get a lot of detail on as much as I can. So this initial video is gonna be part of the archive on the restoration work, and we'll do some screenshots and throw it in the resto book so that, you know, if he decides to sell it, he'll have a good timeline, pictures, videos, what we've done, what we discovered. And this is day one, July 29, 2021. And that is a 20-minute video, and I'm gonna go ahead and call it good now. And then after we get some of this stuff apart, I'll take a few screenshots and maybe post another video just to what I found. After I get fenders, hood, windscreen, fuel tank, steering wheel, shifter lever, undo the linkage and all the wiring, and get about 4 good people that does not include me to lift this sucker off of the frame and see what we're dealing with. Then we can start on the engine and work our way back, top to bottom, engine, axles, order parts, clean them up, clean everything up, get it tight, and we're good to go. So with that, I'll end right here, and see you in a bit.